Hi, my name is Adrian and welcome to this Power BI tutorial on how to set up high and low markers on your visual. As you can see, I have everything set up here in my Power BI. I have sample data here with a very simple visual, just total sales by date, and the stars of the show over here, you have this indicator here specifying that this date had the highest in terms of sales and this date had the lowest in terms of sales. And I think a trick like this really enhances your storytelling and helps emphasize key dates or segments in your visual. Now, I saw this method by Tiffany Effinger on the winning dashboard for the Northwind Maven Challenge, and I wanted to have a go at recreating it. So, if you want to have a look at the dashboard that I just mentioned, please check the description or in the comments. And what's really cool about this trick is that I can play around with the slicer, and as you can see, it dynamically reacts. So it's not static, it's not visual trickery, it's just good old formatting magic. How about that? So let's get into it. So in order to accomplish these indicators, what methods will we be using? Well, I have two neat little functions here called maxx and minx, which are kind of like max and min, but they're more context heavy. So they're enhanced versions of those aggregation functions and comes really handy for situations like this. And just good old visual formatting options. So let's get into specifics. Great. So I have the same visual before, just without those high and low markers. And as I said before, it's a very simple visual, just a line graph, and I have here on the y-axis just total sales, which is just a sum of the main metric here on my sample data, which is just called sales, and the time dimension, which is just the dates. And now I want to set up that high indicator now. So let's make a new measure. We're going to call it sales max x, using that max x function that I told you about. Max x, and this takes in two arguments, a table and an expression. So I want to find the maximum all throughout the dates. So I want to get the order date, right? Not showing up for me. Why? Because it's taking up a table. So we'll have to call on the function of all selected just so we can pull on that order date. And now we have provided ourselves the context of an order date and the expression, which is just our total sales. So basically, get me the max total sales in this context of order date. Let's have a go and put it inside our visual. Huh. Well, that's weird. That's not like before. So basically, we're just putting all that max all across the entire visual. So you want to avoid that. What do we do? What do we adjust here? Well, we're going to put in a simple if statement. If this, the max that we were looking for, is equal to total sales. If it's true, then just bring back its value. And if not, well, you can just leave it blank, null. Let's see what happens. Perfect. Okay, great. Now that we have our max x indicator set up, let's enhance it to give it more information and help us with our storytelling, right? So just click on the visual and go to the format pane. Now, I want to give it a color so people will be instinctively notified that it's a positive value, right? So let's give it a positive color like green. Great, now it's happier. Now I want to give it a value just so it could stand out. So click on data labels. Whoa, look at that. We have numbers all across our visual. And we have far too many. We only need just the one, which is our max. So just go into data labels, and here in settings, just pick out total sales. We don't need the data labels for total sales, just for our max. Switch our settings back to max because we'll be doing some extra configuration. And maybe I want to give it some more emphasis. So I'll add in a background. Perfect. But it doesn't look very happy. So let's put in our green coloring in. Great. And maybe I want some text over here just to explain what it is. So go into title and turn it on. As you can see, the name of the metric has been made available. We don't want that. We want something more no-brainer. So let's go into custom. And as you can see here, we can plug in a new measure. So let's make a new measure and let's just call it highest sales date. Just a string that's indicating date with highest sales. Plug it in and boom. Date with highest sales over here on November 24th. That's fantastic. And maybe just making it bold, just for more emphasis. I can't get enough of emphasis. So you've done that with the max. Now let's do the minimum. Great. As you can see, I have both of my indicators up and running, but one small little issue, I have the min indicator clipping with the visual. So what I can do to help with that is going into the format pane, looking under options, and instead of having it in auto, you want it under. And there you go. You can clearly see it here. It's not clipping with any of the lines. And there's some additional options here, like how much you want to offset this. So you can bring it as close as you want or as far as you want. Great, so that was the video. I hope you found it interesting, worthwhile, and learned something from it. And I hope some of these methods can come up into your next project. For more tips and tricks on Power BI and other analytics projects, stay tuned. Thanks.